I think my format is I'll just start with some speculation. There was a tweet that went out maybe a couple years ago where they said the first scene would be a cold wind is blowing and a familiar child's voice is singing a song. Is probably the most obvious answer to that is it's going to be a young Will singing "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" If that is true, then that means Will is going to be the protagonist of this season, and that's just really exciting. Every season has started with an open that's like something that's separate from the main action, separate from Hawkins, or separate from our heroes at least. And season 4, it was a flashback to 1979. Just see Dr. Brenner encounter a young Elle, and I think you see the dead bodies. And so it was like an incomplete flashback, and you only find out what actually happened later on. So my prediction is we're going to see some minutes of Will in the Upside Down in 1983. Things will be out of context, or what happens before they cut it off is going to be a big reveal. There's going to be big reveals that are not apparent yet, but that are going to be hidden from us in this. That's my prediction. I assume it's going to be a memory of Will, by Will, and he wakes up in the Byler house, maybe near Mike in the same room. We'll see. But I don't think we'll see that even. I doubt we'll see more than the flashback itself. I think they'll just cut it off because this is a teaser after all. Oh, first 5 minutes, there's Will. Oh my god. There's a young Will. Okay. What's the paper? Shit. He has his gun. Come on! Power parkour! Oh. He doesn't remember any of this, I guess, and he's being taken to the library. Is it Vecna? Okay.
We can begin. We are going to do such beautiful things together.
All right. Wow. I'm still extremely excited about the season, don't get me wrong, but I kind of expected everything that we saw. This is just a teaser. We're gonna learn a lot more. And that wasn't a flashback by Will. Will would not have was unconscious for a lot of that. So it's not from his point of view. In season 4, it was kind of more from Brenner's point of view, but we got to learn the truth through a flashback from Elle. So, what's going to be important for our heroes is what Will remembers. So Will's going to get his memories back somehow. Okay, I'm going to look at chat. Yeah, I don't like the face CGI, but that's just the limits of the technology, I guess. I just remember how good of an actor young Noah Schnapp was, and that's just not quite captured here. Yeah, I saw a comment too about those straps and that maybe telekinesis was used to loosen them. Maybe Will did that? Maybe? I don't know. So basically, it's setting up that the main mystery of why Will's being taken is going to be answered. And clearly, Vecna has already waited a long time, if I got what his dialogue correct, before taking him. And why did he choose Will? He's not picking a random person to be his vessel or lieutenant. He was waiting for this moment. Yeah, the vibe is that Will's going to be a villain this season. He's gonna be Vecna's servant. Vecna is doing something with that tube thing in his mouth. And just got to say, like, I'm a fan of the vibe of season 1. I like the I don't like, but I enjoy the creepiness, the body horror. They messed around with that boy. I mean, it was season 1, it was pretty cruel with how it treated its victims, and it's like, and I've always thought seasons 2, 3, even 4, even though 4, some people say that's the horror season. I've always thought that season 1 was the most brutal with characters. Will's a central character. His character is going to remember what happened, and his memories will be key to the story arc and his personal arc, I think. And he may very well have powers. Also, interestingly, that's the library, which is also the location of the Supergate. There's has to be a reason for that, where all the gates converge. They converge at the library. There's something about that spot. Hopper and Joyce, they got him out, but it would seem Vecna let them rescue Will. Vecna could have, kicked their ass and killed them. It must have been part of the plan for him to be returned to Hawkins with whatever influence Vecna put on him. Yeah, there is the question of how the chain on the Byers' house's front door got drawn back. A Demogorgon would not have been able to pull that chain. You know what? It could be as simple as the fact that Will Byers was a boy who couldn't run. And Vecna always just walks really slowly. So maybe Vecna needed to send a Demogorgon to run after him. Hey, maybe there were two creatures in that very first episode, because remember, he was running away from the thing coming to his front door. Then he goes into the shed, and we kind of get a hint later in the season that there's some kind of gate in that shed, some passage to the Upside Down, and a second creature could have crept in there. That could have been the Demogorgon, maybe, and Vecna was trying to come in through the front door. Let me just walk through it one more time. Oh no, maybe that strap just was movie dramatic loosening. Maybe. Ugh. All right, that's fucked up. And clearly you can see why Will Byers would forget everything that happened. Well, anyway, I was thinking there about at long last. I'm just wondering, it's not necessarily confirmed that he waited for Will specifically, that he could have gotten a random kid. We'll have to see. There is a flashback to a young 8-year-old Will in 1979, which is the same year the events happen in the lab for some reason. And Vecna is going to use Will this season. It could be possession. It could be, him being a villain. I don't know. I don't know if there's necessarily a big divide between those two. All right, looked a little bit online. Just have a couple of other comments about just how messed up what happened to a young boy was, and the physical attack, and the horror, the body horror, and yes, the metaphor for sexual assault that we saw. And okay, first of all, this means Will has a happy ending. If the theme, their opening emotions are that Will is a victim, that he is a victim of the Upside Down, and also suggested victim of other things, as in that scene, he is going to triumph, because you don't set that up if you're not going to resolve it. And the other thing too is, that they also said that his sexuality, that his coming into his own as a young man would be a theme of the season, and that it was not just sexuality, but that means part of it is his sexuality. And so, anyway, I'm just very looking forward to a Will-centric season, a character I really love and identify with, and want to have a happy ending. And another thing too is that Noah Schnapp did say in one of those interviews that something goes right for him. You're going to watch season 5 and something goes right for him. And this is clearly not one of those things. And so, hey, maybe it's a certain romantic development that will be what goes right for him. Anyway, those are my thoughts. So please like and subscribe to see my reactions to the episodes when I edit them. And my full reactions to the episodes will be up as soon as possible on my Patreon, which you should all support. So that's it. It's been Ronald Off the Record. Thank you for watching.